Nadia, sorry to bug you, but could you swing by with breakfast at 6 every morning? I've been feeling a bit run down lately. My mother-in-law, Catherine, swings another unreasonable demand on me. Sorry, but I can't do that. I'm swamped with work on the weekdays. I decline. My husband, Bob, butts in with a frown. Come on, what's the big deal? You're making ours anyways. Exactly. My boy gets it. No, I can't do it before work. I assertively turn her down again. Catherine gets louder, seemingly miffed with my response. Don't you dare talk to your mother-in-law like that. If you can't handle it, then just divorce him. You okay with that? Bob nods his head in agreement behind her. All right, let's divorce then, I say, grabbing a piece of paper from the drawer and gently setting it down on the table. Hi, I'm Nadia. I just turned 28 this year. I lost my folks in a car accident when I was young, but managed to make it through university on a scholarship and graduated from the pharmacy department. Now I'm working as a pharmacist at the local drugstore. Last year, I also tied the knot with my husband, Bob. We met through a mutual friend when I was 25, pretty run-of-the-mill stuff. My first impression of him was that he was really down-to-earth and kind. That image didn't shift as we got to know each other. After grabbing a meal a few times, I found myself increasingly attracted to his easygoing nature. He was clearly into me too, and after he confessed his feelings, we started seeing each other, thinking about settling down someday. After dating around for 3 years, he popped the question and I said yes, and we decided to get married. Soon after we got engaged, I paid a visit to my future in-laws. Don't stress, you'll be fine. My parents are nice folk, they'll totally love you. Really? I sure hope so. With such banter, we reached his parents' house. As we rang the doorbell, Catherine swung to the front door and opened it. Oh, welcome! So glad you're here. Mom, this is Nadia, the one I've been seeing. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Nadia. I'm looking forward to getting to know you. Oh, what a lovely young woman you are. Please, come in. She beckoned us into the house. After we chatted after the introductions, Catherine brought up something. By the way, Nadia, you're planning on moving in here, right? What? I choked on her out-of-the-blue proposition for us to live together. My boy has lived here all his life. It'll be lively if we all stay under the same roof. No, commuting to work from here would be too far. We're planning on renting a new apartment or condo. Sorry to reject your invite. Oh, really? That's a shame we can't stay together. Isn't that right, honey? Well, we're not getting any younger, and it would be helpful to have a young person around. It seemed my in-laws had set their minds on living with us, and things got a bit tense. Oh, I know! You could quit your job, Nadia! My son makes good money in his business, and you could easily live on his income. Well, I don't plan on quitting my job right now. Yeah, Mom. These days, it's normal for both spouses to work. It's not fair to ask her to quit her job just so we can live together. Catherine kept throwing out ideas for us to live together, but we managed to talk our in-laws down. Well, if you're set on it, we can't argue. Catherine's attempts to get me to quit my job and Bob's hasty refusals felt a bit weird, but I was so wrapped up in my wedding planning to give it much thought. We ended up choosing a new 3-bedroom apartment near the station that was right for us. The rent was a bit steep, but since we both made more than an average salary, we decided to go ahead with it. But then, just a few months later, something happened. On a chill afternoon during a holiday, Bob and I were enjoying some downtime as the doorbell rang suddenly. Huh? Catherine? The intercom revealed her face. What's up all of a sudden, Catherine? We moved into the apartment building just across the street. Today was moving day. What? My husband and I were both caught off guard. Looking at us, my mother-in-law, sporting a grin like a kid who just pranked us, continued chatting. We wanted to surprise you. Success! We're definitely surprised, but Mom, why all of a sudden? I was worried about you two and figured we should move closer. I see. Mom, thank you. It feels good knowing you're nearby. Listening to their exchange, I timidly asked Catherine, the apartment across the street? Yes, it's the most well-regarded in this area. It even has concierge. You guys should have picked this place too. She commented, but it was a fancy apartment complex that was in a well-known area. The rent was easily twice what ours was. Catherine, are you okay with that? Huh? What do you mean? No, it's nothing. I didn't want to bluntly ask if they could afford it, so I stumbled over my words. Bob seemed chuffed that his parents had moved closer and didn't appear worried about the cost. Bob, can your parents handle the rent? That apartment's pretty pricey. My dad worked for a big company and probably had some savings. Don't sweat it. His answer didn't quell my concerns, but without checking, I had to take his word for it. After that, My in-laws, now just a stone throw away, started leaning on us more. They started asking us to do their cleaning and laundry, and they frequently asked us for rides when running errands and, shopping. We saw them almost every day. Life went on like that for about a year, and gradually their demands grew. Hey there, Nadia, are you off work yet? Yeah, just about to head home. Catherine, who had a knack for calling me just when I finished work. Perfect timing, could you pick up some stuff for me? Again, didn't I just go shopping yesterday? James was in the mood for sushi, could you grab some? I reluctantly picked up the sushi and delivered it to my in-laws. Here you go, that was $55. Oh, sorry, I don't have any cash right now. I'll pay you back next time. But I haven't gotten the money from yesterday's shopping yet. Really? I thought I paid you back yesterday. Maybe you're imagining things. No. We're family. It's okay, don't nickel and dime. But they say money makes strife, so I want to keep things straight. She scowled at my pushback and continued to the chat. Don't take this the wrong way, but you're living on my son's dime, right? It's a bit audacious to bring this up. Huh? No, I work and earn my own money. Talk to me when you earn more money than my son. It's mostly his money, so there's no issue spending it on his parents. I was taken aback by her words and fell silent. Anyway, we're about to eat dinner now, so you should scoot. With that, she shooed me out. After that, even though I asked for the payback, she dodged it, and I finally decided to bring it up to my husband. Hey, Bob, we need to talk. Good timing. I have something I want to talk about, too. Huh? What's up? I quit my job. What? Huh, why out of nowhere? I was shocked, and my eyes widened at the sudden announcement. It's only natural for me to ditch a company like that. It's ridiculous that they promoted a newbie who can't hold a candle to me while leaving me in the dust. I needed to switch company that values me more. In other words, he quit because he was bitter that a junior who didn't rate got a promotion over him. Do you have another job lined up? Not yet, but it should happen soon. A guy like me is hot property everywhere. So you're out of a job now. It's a hassle to quit suddenly without any discussion. It's fine, you're working too, so we're not broke. I felt like words wouldn't make a dent on him, so I buttoned in on it. But he wasn't done with the shocks. Also, we're gonna start footing the bill for my parents' apartment. Hold up, what did you just say? You heard me, we're covering the rent for my parents' place. Even after the repeat, I wasn't mishearing. Why on earth do we need to cover the rent for your parents' place? You're out of a job, right? Sure am, but I'm hitting the job hard starting tomorrow. And I'm certain I will find a job, something with bigger bucks real quick. I've already got a few leads already. I was reeling in at his lack of understanding of the real world. Their apartment is over twice what we pay. We were scrapping by when both of us had a job. There's no way we can cover it with my paycheck. No matter how I protested, he just brushed it off, assuring me everything would work out. You're between jobs now. How are you planning on paying their rent? Well, what can you do, right? They said they're in a bind. Isn't it our job as their kids to help them out? That doesn't mean I can magically make my paycheck cover your parents' rent. Okay, I hear you. So I need to snag a side gig or something, right? You worry too much. Try and be more chill, like my mom. That's not the point. His overly rose-tinted view of things was getting on my nerves. So, your mom is asking her jobless son to pay their rent. Nah, she didn't say it like that. She just mentioned things were tough, so I suggested it. And they don't know I'm jobless. Why haven't you told them? If you did, they wouldn't expect you to cover their rent. Why do I have to spill all the beans on them? I don't want to stress them out, so I didn't dare blab either. That's not happening. You need to tell them the truth. Deal? You're really not letting this go, huh? I can't take back what I said now. I'll be up to my eyeballs in job hunting from tomorrow, so I'm hitting the sack. With that, he hammered in the final nail into the coffin and effectively shut me down. So now I have a single-handedly keep up myself and my in-laws afloat. Do I really need to keep footing the bill for my in-laws and husband who just see me as a workhorse? I spent that night wrestling with those thoughts over and over again, and I reached a decision. It was time to get my ducks in a row for the future. A few days later, my in-laws popped by our place. And, as per usual, they started firing off all sorts of requests. Catherine, sorry to bug you, but could you swing by with breakfast at 6 every morning? I've been feeling a bit run down lately. I'm swamped with work on the weekdays, so I can't. As soon as I shot that down, my husband looked at me grumpy and butted in. Come on, what's the big deal? You're making ours anyway, right? Exactly! My boy gets it. No, I can't. I can't swing by before work. I shut down Catherine's request once more again. Loud and clear. Then, perhaps, ticked off by my pushback, she raised her voice. Don't you dare talk back to your mother-in-law. If you can't handle it, then just divorce him. You okay with that? As she spat out those words, my husband from behind her was nodding along in agreement. Then let's go for the divorce, I responded, pulling out a sheet from the drawer as I calmly placed it on the table. It was a divorce paper. My part was already filled in. Catherine was taken aback for a moment, but quickly scoffed and fired back at me. You can't even stand on your own 2 feet, and yet you're trying to play tough. You should apologize to Bob right now. Yeah, Mom, he mumbled in response to Catherine's assertive statement. Is that so, Bob? Have I been living off you? When I challenged him, he couldn't even meet my eyes. What are you stating the obvious for? You're living the high life thanks to our son. Apologize already. No, I'm not apologizing. As you suggested, I'm divorcing your son. When I made my stance clear, my husband suddenly rushed over to me and started begging. No, please don't leave me. Bob, what the hell? Yeah, what a pathetic sight for a man. My in-laws were flabbergasted by their son, crying and clinging on to me, but then I dropped a bombshell. Actually, I make more than Bob. What? No way. You're just a pharmacy clerk, right? For the first time, I unveiled the truth behind the odd feeling I always got when they said I had a lousy income and was leeching off my husband. No, it seems he couldn't bear to admit that his wife earns more than he does, but I'm actually a pharmacist at a pharmacy. Wait, pharmacist? I've never heard that. And Bob is out of a job right now. No way. He's a corporate man at a major firm. He quit. He's now just a freelancer juggling part-time gigs. He pulls them in like $700 a month. At my words, Bob just hung his head in silence. That's a lie, right? Just the other day, he said he got promoted. Right, Bob? I think he was talking about his junior who joined the company after him. I answered for my silent and shell-shocked husband. That's... His golden boy junior got promoted, so he quit out of spite. Right, Bob? Then his job hunting went south, and now he's jobless. I didn't know that. If I'd known, I wouldn't have brought up a divorce. I was planning on getting a divorce regardless, so it worked out that you brought it up. Realizing their predicament, my in-laws started backpedaling and making excuses. Please, we were wrong. You will land a job soon, right, Bobby? You bet. I'll be making more than you, Nadia, my husband announced, all pumped up. I couldn't care less about your petty contests anymore. I've already set up the wheels in motion to move out of this place and be out by the end of the month. So please, skedaddle ASAP. I shot back icily. Please, don't do that to me, he begged. I booted him and his folks out of my place, boxed up his stuff, and shipped it off to his parents' place. COD. After that, my in-laws were left holding the bag, having to look after Bob. To add to that, since they had to scram in a hurry, their steep rent and living costs piled up. Living on their pension alone was a pipe dream, and last I heard, they had to downgrade to a shabby apartment. They're probably eking out of existence, all 3 of them crammed into a cramped room. As for me, I'm living it up all on my lonesome. I do have plans to tie the knot again someday, but for now, I'm relishing my independence, putting my nose to the grindstone every single day.